showtime.
It's about that time.
Let's go.
You're right where you need to be. This is GCOM Radio.
Hardest radio station on the planet. Yeah.
Powered by Lyfeblood.com.
We certified.
And hosted by Nova Phoenix and LK Mason.
Give them that flavor.
What is going on? This is Nova Phoenix, and this is GCOM Radio on iHeartRadio. We're back again with another episode for you guys. And we're back, man. We're back again. One more again. LK Mason is not here. We got some business to take care of for GCOM Radio. Hopefully we can work it out. We're in the midst of doing some things which should have been worked out earlier. Hopefully it can be ironed out and we could get back to business. But you know, the show must go on. Yeah, my week was good, man. My week was good. Out there in the city and living. I got some stitches. I don't know if I told you guys I kind of hurt myself in the bathroom, and I kind of needed to get some stitches in my left arm, man. A couple stitches. The gash was deep. I broke the soap dish, so I'm relaxing in my tub. I'm getting up. You know, I shouldn't have been using the soap dish as a you know, a crutch or you know, used to stabilize me getting up, and the joint broke under my weight. Hey, I'm a fat mofo. What are you gonna do? The joint broke and I gashed my arm, man, pretty bad. So I had to get, like, it wasn't that bad, but still I had to get stitches. It was deep. But now it's time to take it out. This happened like probably a week and a half ago. So I'm ready to get these stitches out and get back to work as far as the gym is concerned. I didn't want to hurt the arm anymore, or you know, keep the wound from healing correctly if I'm like working the arm out. So it's pretty much there, and yeah, man, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get back in the gym. Plus, I'm also going to change my diet as well. See, I yo-yo, man. I'm up and down, up and down. I lose 30 pounds, gain 30 pounds, lose 35, gain 35. So and that's just life, because things get in the way. You know what I mean? Like business and family, and then, you know, others, you know, other things. And sometimes, you know, getting in the gym are not as important. I used to kill the gym when I was younger. I used to kill the gym like 10, 12 years ago. Now it's not the same. You know, as I said, other responsibilities take priority. And I do go to the gym, but now I'm like not trying to be like an Olympic athlete or get close to it, because I was banging it out in the gym like 4 or 5 days a week. Now I'll be happy if I just get 3 and I just stay active, you know, and also it's also important to change the diet. So, hey, this is a beautiful thing that just took place. Coach Jessie, she is, I would say she's a nutritionist. I don't want to get it wrong, but Coach Jessie was on Power 105 a couple of times with her partners, and talking about changing the diet, and it's important if you suffer from certain ailments that you can change your diet in order to alleviate it. And yeah, man, Coach Jessie is, again, she's a best-selling author on nutrition and health coach, and she has her partners talking about their business on getting rid of fibroids in black women and many other health concerns. And it's all based on changing your diet, and they have a lot of different diet programs that people can use in order to start clearing themselves up. And it so happens, the reason why I'm bringing up Miss Jessie Thompson, shout out to Miss Jessie Thompson, because she goes, I met her, I don't like to talk about my personal business all the time, but it just so happens that her kid goes to the same school as my kid. And I knew this woman's face, because I'm picking up my kid and I'm seeing her and I'm seeing her daughter, looking at her. I'm like, yo, where do I know this woman from? And I just let it slide. But we know each other on IG. We're connected to each other on IG. So sometimes, we see each other. You like someone's what we're doing, and you like, a month go by, 2 months. But either way, you still know this person exists because you see their posts. But who knew? I met Coach Jessie at. I'm pretty sure I met her at. Oh my God, Angela Yee from the whole co-host or host from Power 105, the Breakfast Club. I used to go to Wealth Wednesdays when they were doing it. Angela Yee was doing it at her juice bar in Brooklyn. So I'm pretty sure. And I met Jessie there, and I thought she was wonderful. And that's how we connected on IG. We followed each other. And then look at that. Lo and behold, like months later, I'm talking about like 7-8 months later, her kid is going to the same school as my kid. You can't make this stuff up. And I hit her up on IG and I say, man, I just saw you. So I'm just teasing her on the DMs. She was like, where I know you from? I was like, yo, let me give you a hint. I just saw you. And then, we were going back and forth for a little bit. And she finally got who she was talking to. So, yeah, man, shout out to Coach Jessie, man. She's doing her thing with her business as far as nutrition and getting the rock and rolling. Go to JessieThompson.com. That's GessieThompson.com. I want to get her partner's name, and it's funny that I also follow her business partner as well. And I don't want to mess up their names. I'm surprised, man. And I'll get the names another time. And you could go to thedetoxnow.com. That's TheDetoxNow.com. That's thedetoxnow.com. She's with Dr. Amun and Dr. Amsu, talking about how our body, how we don't treat our body right. And a lot of the diseases or ailments that we suffer from is from our diet. So long story short, I plan to do one of her programs. I wanted to do it for the longest time. And now I'm like, wow, this is crazy that we're bumping into each other. I'm definitely going to reach out to her thing, man, and do something, get something going. So shout out to Jessie. Anywho, I got my tea right here. My herbal tea. I got to drink that to keep the vocal cords all supple. So the first topic of the show, let's get into it. The first topic of the show is we know what's happening with T.I. and Charlamagne the God visited Capitol Hill to discuss investment in black communities. And I read that article somewhere. I forgot where I read that article, on thesource.com. It's a beautiful thing, man. I think it's commendable for T.I. and Charlamagne to reach out in ways where they can start getting ideas going for investments to be directed towards the black communities across America. So they attended a Congressional Black Caucus press conference to advocate for those investments. And the main talking points was closing the wage gaps within the black community while elevating economic development. So I thought it was a beautiful thing. As I said before, I mean, why not? I think for them to take part as T.I. and Charlamagne to step out of what they usually do, with Charlamagne being the radio host, T.I. the rapper, and start using their platform or the high position in hip hop culture to advocate for investments to be done in the black community, because again, historically, it's always been underserved. It's always been underserved. So they're doing what they call opportunity zones. And it was also they were, along with heavyweights and lawmakers, Representative Antonio Delgado and Stephen Horsford in the corner. They were supporting them with they're calling it the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. And Mr. Delgado says, we spoke about opportunity zones. We're talking about not just an opportunity for the folks who have been marginalized or exploited or left behind. You're also talking about opportunity for hip hop. That's unquote. That's what Mr. Delgado was saying. So I think that's great. That's great. Now, let's also keep in mind, It so happened that I bumped into another article that was thenation.com, and it was written by a gentleman named Aaron Ross Coleman, and he was saying that this is not something that's brand new. It's happened before, and he referenced a book called The Color of Money: Black Banks and the Racial Wealth Gap by Darren, I believe. I don't want to see the full name. Darren. I don't want to get that wrong. It's by Mirsa Baradaran, and again, the book was called The Color of Money: Black Banks and a Racial Wealth Gap. And he explained how Richard Nixon at the time did the same thing. In 1968, Black Americans reeled from, of course, generations of discrimination, and in ways to kind of co-opt the Black Power movements, Richard Nixon was putting together programs that again was going to target anti-poverty, and we're going to target Black communities with anti-poverty programs and quote-unquote partially reparations, I guess, is something or other. So, but instead of actually doing work in the community, kind of jacked that whole message that was happening from Black Power movements, and it was a paper tiger. It was nothing. And what the program was doing was giving tax breaks and incentives to companies to come in and invest in Black communities. And at the end of the day, all it does is really make these other businesses more. You only enrich other businesses. So at the end of the day, what's happening is that all you do is enrich these other businesses and not actually tackling the issues at hand that have left Black communities and brown communities too. You have to involve them because they suffer from disenfranchisement themselves. They left them behind. Now, a couple of things that we deal with as far as what's going on I don't know what's going on. My arm has hurt me. A couple of things that Black communities continuously deal with is higher insurance prices, hammered by stingy investors, pummeled by exclusive supply chains, assaulted by recessions, thrashed by exclusionary regulators, and pounded by an intergenerational wealth gap. Now, this, of course, is coming from the article from what the gentleman was saying, Aaron Ross Coleman, and it's true. A lot of these things are structurally built in that kind of keeps Black communities from advancing. And instead of giving these incentives, these tax breaks to companies, you have to deal with the root cause of what's keeping Black communities underserved. You must not only tackle racism, but also the financial biases that permeate Black communities, poor communities across America. You got to deal with racism that you're facing in banks when they give you high interest rates, or if they're either not giving you the loan that you need or grants available to grow back Black businesses. But if you do get these, say, loans, let's lean more towards that, all of a sudden you get a higher interest rate than you would from your other counterparts. And you also have to deal with the structural issues, how, it's established for what's happening in New York as far as businesses. And a lot of times, even as a Black business, you may have a service that you want to provide for people, and let's be honest, your customers are not only going to be Black customers. Your customers are going to be a variety of different folks, and a lot of the customers that you're going to get is going to be non-Black people, in particular white, especially in the construction business. And the construction business is run by predominantly, established construction outfits that have gone back 25, 30 years, 40 years, longer than that. And they have built business relationships with city agencies. And it's hard to get an edge in if you don't have the opportunities not presented to you to grow a business. And honestly, sometimes I think that's fine. You can have any established business in New York. They're building high rises. They have rehab projects with different city agencies, and these contracts go in like 5, 10, 15, 20, $25 million contracts, even larger ones that go well into the billions. And that's in New York City. How do you get in as a Black business and say you're a construction worker and you want to get a piece of the game? How do you do that? How do you get in and say, all right, listen, I have an established business, I have an established company. How do I make moves in this area where I can get that $5-10 million job? It's expensive, sometimes even expensive for the established ones. But already there are 10, 20 steps ahead as far as being the viable options to get these contracts. Now, does that mean that you have to stay in New York? Sometimes I feel like, what are you going to do? All right. New York is the way it is, and it's a city that's been here for decades, and these businesses have been here the same way, and they have the resources, manpower, and money to get these contracts. I wonder if you ever a black-owned construction business, doesn't even make sense to try to get into the New York market. And I say that because I am from New York. Maybe you need to go to another state. If you want to be the front runner to get a hand in a lot of these contracts in order for you to be a viable construction business, I'm just saying construction as an example. It could be any industry, because not everybody's going to be a basketball player, a musician, or any of the things that people typically see black people doing. There are a lot of other industries, engineering, architecture, doctors, a myriad of different disciplines and fields that lack African American people as far as being the employees in the field or being a business owner providing a service or product to those specific fields. Maybe it's not going to be in New York. Maybe it's going to be in Atlanta. Maybe it's going to be in Georgia. Maybe it's going to be in Florida, probably Utah, Kentucky, wherever. Even if it doesn't start in a major city, it may start in a smaller county and can probably conjoin with other counties to become a city where now you can have a fair shake at getting a contract. Because really, New York is saturated. It is developed. Is developing on top of the developed buildings and infrastructure that's already in place, and these companies that are well known already are always going to get first dibs in a many different ways. Sometimes it's not even racism. Sometimes, hey, listen, they have it. Does racism creep in? Oh yeah, no question, it does. But I think that if you want to have a viable black business, it has to be someplace else. It has to be a place where it's promising for development, and it has to be a place it's open to everyone. In order to, okay, what's the contract? We need a new infrastructure. We need to build a bridge here. We need to build a road here. We need to build a high rise here. We need to build an additional road in connecting from one county to the next. And you have to get in as a black business and be the first ones in there. So I don't think it's a matter of lacking options. I just think people are looking down a crowded room already. They're looking into a crowded room. I think it's important that maybe you just need to step out and go where there are less people, because it's not going to happen where New York City is. All right, when it comes to certain businesses. Now, again, back to these opportunity zones. We also have to deal with the inequities that are happening that keep people locked out. We have to deal with the financial infrastructure. What's keeping people locked out? How are these biases continuing at these tables when you're going for a grant or when you're going for a loan or whatever the case may be? You have to deal with those high insurance premiums. How does this play a part in it? We have to radically rethink what it means to move about in these different fields and these different industries that are all interrelated and growing a healthy business. High insurance premiums. Hey, listen, I'm not the person that's on the other side of the phone or sitting at this table talking to an African-American business and saying, well, based on these numbers, and then tabulating and say, well, your premiums is this, and it's out of control. It's way expensive. Probably new businesses has to be built on the insurance side in order to provide premiums that are more fair for growing businesses, for small businesses. What are the other problems? The general regulation. What federal or state regulation that's keeping black businesses from thriving. You have to face it on a federal level. That's why you have to go to your local politicians. That's what you have to go to your state representatives, your community representatives, your congressmen, your congresswomen, your senators, and hold their feet to the fire and say, hey, listen, we are facing some real issues as far as creating viable businesses in our community. We have to create some legislation that's going to keep that door open and keep or attempt at keeping the biases and racism away from us so we can flourish as a business. And it's anywhere you go, whether it's New York. And I don't know if there's legislation that's already on the table for that. But if it is on the table, I haven't heard it. And again, this one particular one, opportunity zones, is important. So if you can somehow structure a bill or legislation around these opportunity zones where it pinpoints these key issues, what stifles black business or brown business as well, because I can't leave them out. I'll speak about the inequities of black people, but I think as a human being, it's important to reach out to folks that are suffering this at the same as black people and as brown people as well. Latino community suffers heavily, just right along with us. Do we have issues amongst each other? Yeah, no doubt that's going to happen. But I think overall, when level minds meet, we are going through the same thing. So I'll never exclude the brown community. So I think it's important that we do face that as well. We have to really point by point tackle the issues that are facing the black community. And it has to be detailed in these opportunity zones. Now, I've always had some issues with the Congressional Black Caucus. I've never thought they were effective in any way. Sorry to say that if any of these folks from the Congressional Black Caucus is listening, but I find them, they have been as ineffective as they were when they were first put together. Because I haven't really seen any legislation coming from the Black Caucus that positively affected the black community. I'm sorry, I haven't seen it. And if there's something that they have done that challenges what I'm saying, please come to me and let me know. But I think it's not just giving these incentives to businesses to kind of spark an economic upswing in black communities, but I think if we detail the specific things that hamper or limit the growth of black business that's built into this society, I think we're heading in the right direction. So I'm not entirely knocking what T.I. and Charlamagne is doing by talking about opportunity zones with the Black Caucus, but in order for us not to repeat history of what Richard Nixon has done in the past, I think if we do a point-by-point bulleted list, a 10-point program or whatever the case might be that deals with the structural issues that hamper black business, I think we're going in the right direction. So anyway, let's get to this music right now. The music that we got for you right now.
Yeah. You already know what it is, man. Whoa. Yeah. I'm popping bottles in the VIP. Them diamonds dancing on me like sea breeze. Wet, just like feet. Wet, just like feet. Popping bottles in the VIP. Them diamonds dancing on me like sea breeze. Wet, just like feet. Wet, just like feet.
Listen up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
If you catch me in the club, I'm here for a check. But when I leave, I'm probably leaving here with your chick. She says she wanna ride with me cause she know I'm the best. I can't lean any beat, I'ma go ahead, tell me what's next. I've been too patient and I know that I'm up next. If you think that ain't the case, maybe you need to rethink that. Versatile and everything, ain't no be safe, yeah, give me that. Shout out to all my haters, I see you over there. Too many of y'all praying on my downfall. Praying that I fail and never make it, dawg. But see, I'm built different, I ain't even like y'all. I see the goal and I'm stepping right over y'all. Really about my money, trying to cash these checks. Trying to take care of my family, take a couple trips. I keep a baddie Shorty on my side, she yellow and she thick. She might be foreign, speak a little Spanish or some French. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, 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 oh yeah, oh yeah. I'm popping bottles in the VIP. Them diamonds dancing on me like sea breeze. Wet, 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 just like feet. Wet, 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 just like feet. Popping bottles in the VIP. Them diamonds dancing on me like sea breeze. Wet, 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 just like feet. Wet, 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 just like feet. Wet, just like feet. Wet, 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 just like feet. Oh, just like feet. Wet, 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 just like feet. I see right through you fakes. I can't mess with you lames. I been knowing what's up. I ain't new to the game. Pops taught me how to handle business at a young age. So now I go and get it in every which way. Now we stacking. We getting to the dough like it's a bakery. Shout out to 2017. You really been great to me. I ain't too worried about this other artist. They ain't made for this. Told them straight up, man, you lames ain't made for this. Made a few tracks with that savage sound. Made a couple hits, so I'm a savage now. If you ain't get the memo, young boy, I'm a savage now. If you ain't get the memo, young boy, I'm a savage now. When the time's my season, I'm steady eating. I got the recipe, no seasoning. Whether scheming, on the low, man, I've been scheming. See the diamonds dancing on me, water, water like it's Fiji. I'm popping bottles in the VIP. Them diamonds dancing on me like sea breeze. Wet, 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 just like Fiji. Wet, 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 just like Fiji. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wet. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Wet.
Sounding off around the world. You are listening to GCOM Radio.
So, yeah, man. So we're going to get into the second segment of the show. And this one is the 40-hour work week. The 40-hour work week. Oh, my God. I think we should do away with it. What do you think, folks? I think the 40-hour work week is antiquated. It's old. It was based on what someone in the past thought human beings should be living by. But times are changing. Times are changing. It's almost like the Model T Ford that was created by Henry Ford back in the day. It was pretty innovative back then when it was first done because it was a horse. What was our transportation? A horse and buggy, right? But now, with the cars that we have on the road today, we understand the Model T Ford, looking back on it, and the limitations of the technology and the idea. It's old, it's in the past, it's respected as a foundation, but of course, as we know, cars are built much better today. And that goes along with the 40-hour work week. It worked in the past, it was the foundation, but now with the coming of technology and new ways of how human beings should interact, it should go the way of the dodo bird. So they say that the first philosophy, not the first, the man that first dreamed up this 40-hour work week was a philosopher named Thomas More. He said they express a right for 8 hours of work, 8 hours of leisure, and 8 hours of sleep would be the ideal means of what a day would look like. And of course, as we know, American history, how, the children were working in the early 20s, whatever, at the 1910s, 1920s. You had the labor movement, all that. It was kind of it was created by the legislators to say, okay, there's no more child labor. We have unions, and it's going to come out to a 40-hour week, 2 days off. And we're going to work like that. I'm being real rough right here. I know they said that the Henry T. Ford, if I'm correct, it first started out as a 48-hour work week, but then it was too much. So Henry Ford decided to cut back a day, and it was 40 hours. And from that, a lot of the manufacturing companies made it a 40-hour work week based on that. He said, people could, they were a lot more rested. They worked better. They were more efficient. And so we have what we have today, a 40-hour work week. Now, fast forward to today. Technology. It's a part of the show what I talk about as far as what Lyfeblood and how we can apply lifeblood to society. And because of all of these things that are happening as far as technology-wise, automation, artificial intelligence, a lot of these things are affecting the jobs that we have today. And I spoke about this before. No reason for me to repeat it again, right? We know this. Jobs are going to be reduced to the point where people are going to start wondering, okay, so what are we supposed to do now? Because if the model is that we're supposed to work in order to get money, so in turn we could pay our rent, cars, school, raise our children, medical care, all these things. But now if you reduce the jobs to the point where they don't need human beings anymore, what are people to do? Now, I think the 40-hour work week should be reduced to, 25 hours. Now, this is not crazy, because me doing the light research, it turns out this was done before in, I think, Sweden. Sweden decreased their work hours and just last year, and they concluded it was like a limited 2-year trial, and it went back. But I believe it went pretty well. Now, not just Sweden, Germany is doing the same thing. Now, it says, let me get this I want to get this information right. In February 2018, news outlets around the world reported on the news that 900,000 German metal and engineering workers have won the right to a 28-hour work week following industrial action. They're saying Europe's largest trade union won its workers the right to work a 6-hour day. Workers can opt for this schedule for 2 years before returning to the original 7-hour work week. Now, listen, if technology is getting to the point where they need less human beings, and it's getting to the point where, AI, technology is changing our lives irrevocably. All right. You see it all around the world when it comes to Uber, when it comes to Uber Eats, when it comes to how AI is affecting Wall Street, them doing the trading on the floor, to doctors, to manufacturing jobs, to building homes, to add for medical care, all these things. Human beings are needed less and less. So if that is the case, don't you think it's more important to have a 25-hour work week? Don't you think that's sufficient? Because if robots are doing, and AI is doing our jobs, and they're doing it quite well, in fact, better than us, why do we need to work 40 hours? Now, I know this particular situation in construction, right? You work hourly, laborers or tradesmen or whatever the case may be. And you work an 8-hour day, minus, of course, you got to take lunch, 7 to 3:30. Now, certain days where it's a day before a holiday, it's agreed upon that, you could work to 2:30. It's as an early day, right? So then it's agreed upon. And then you see a worker work, instead of being ready, did his shift, what they had to do for the day, and leave at 2:30, because they don't leave at 3:30. When you're a union guys leave at 3:30. Nothing more, nothing less. That's what it is. It's in their union books. It's agreed upon. That's it. Now, in this case, I see a worker working if you don't leave at 2:30, you got to leave at 2:30. You got to stop at 2 o'clock, right? Puts things back in order. You go back to your yard, put things away, 2:30 out the door. I've seen situations where you have workers will work to 3 o'clock, 3:15, and be like, oh, it's early. Nah. So that's one way where the company has pushed on the worker that there are no early days. You work anyway. And number two, you could say the worker has been conditioned to think, well, I'm making my money. I don't care. I'm going to work right to the last, where you work yourself to the bone. I know of another man that had a business of his own, went through 3 wives, and he was proud of it too. He went through 3 wives. He said, man, I got married, divorced, married a second wife, ended up divorced. Now I'm married to the third one, but I'm still working. I'm working to the bone. This is an old timer. He's probably in his late 50s, early 60s. He was about to retire a couple more years, and he's gone. He's like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to work. I think society's got it to us to the point where we have to live to work, or we must work to live, rather. That we must work to live, work yourself to the bone, work, forget days off, for weekends, whatever. No, work until you're 75, until your last breath and you die. I don't believe we're put on this planet to do that. I believe as human beings, we are more. We are meant to do more. We're not just meant to be worker bees, work our fingers down to the bone until we're ready to retire, old and gray. That's when we're quote unquote free. That's when we want to travel. That's when we want to do all these things that we weren't able to do because we were just good worker bees. I think it's changed now. I think technology is forcing us to change our behavior on how we see work and what is important. And slowly but surely, even outside of technology, the people that I've spoke to are starting to realize work is not the end all be all. It's not that important. Your health is more important. Your family is more important. You just breathing in that air and figuring out who you are is more important. Not working for somebody else and making them more money. Not working yourself and you know you're sick, but you're still pushing through because you have to make that extra dollar. Not working to the point where you have not had a vacation in 5 years. Not working to the point where, you know what, I'm just going to get that extra time in and working at 7, 8 o'clock and you have no time to see your kids because you got to get up the next day. Nah, man, that's not it is. It's about working smarter, not harder. And that's what these advancements in technology and science is forcing us to rethink. The 40-hour work week is obsolete. It is done. If I have anything to do about it, I would like to smash that thought process. Smash it to pieces. Because it's not about the 40-hour work week and making money for other people. It's about finding out who you are as an individual. What makes you tick? What's your passion? What wakes you up in the morning and says, this is a new day and I'm ready for it? What is that thing? Okay? What is that thing that makes you want to live and know that living is a beautiful gift? And it's not working some mundane, repetitive, oh my God, Bueller, putting the toothpaste caps on the toothpaste tubes. If you know that from Charlie and Willy Wonka, the Chocolate Factory. It's more than that. And if we can reduce that to a 24, I'm all for it, whatever I can. If I could smash that, if Lyfeblood could play a role into destroying that 40-hour work week, that's what's important. Because to me, it's about living. You know what my typical day is? Right? Say you're a bus driver. This is a perfect example. 2 examples. One, bus driver, right? They're here to pick up the kids from school and drop them off, right? What do they do for the rest of the day? I don't know. But eventually we're going to get to the point where these buses are going to be automated, just like the big rig truck, the trucking company. It's going to get smashed in a little bit, in about 10 years, right? So we can still automate these school buses, have the drivers in there, right? They get up in the morning, they drive to the bus depot, get the bus. The bus goes automated, drives itself to the school. The bus driver is just there for any, things that may happen awry. They're kind of like bus operators, engineers, whatever the case may be. Fix it guys and girls, ladies, excuse me. They're there, pick up the kids in the morning. They go home. They go back to the bus depot. They go home, do whatever they have to do. And then a couple hours later, they do the same thing, go back, drop those kids off, right? Pick up the kids, drop them up home, and they go home. What in total did they work? 4 hours out the day. That is what I'm talking about. Another example, you do your work, your best time is in the morning, you bang out your work, 5 hours, 6 hours, you break out. You could go to the doctor. You could go to the gym. You could go just, go to the beach, decompress, right? There was a study that was done by, now go to this article, a study that was done by a bunch of, let me see if I can find it. I don't think I can find it. Anyway, it was a study that was done by some human resource people, And they're saying that people get most of their work done on Mondays and it peaks at Tuesday. And guess what was the day that was the least work, that people did the least work on? Guess what day that was? Friday. Why? Because it's the day before the weekend and people are already burnt out. They're done. They were getting 4 hours of sleep. They had to take their kids to soccer practice. They got to do this for work. Boom, 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 boom. They are burnt. All right. So because of the coming of technology, because of AI, because of automation, let's deal with it. Let's reorganize it. And I don't even think we have to wait for that day to come as far as how technology would interrupt those industries. I think we should do it right now. 25-hour work week. Get your day done. Work 5 hours a day. Go home. Go home. Because we really goof off most of the day anyway. Our most work that we do in the office is about 5 or 6 hours anyway. And the rest of it is going to the freaking water cooler, seeing how your friend, your coworker is doing at the other end of the office, goofing around, going to lunch. Work still gets done. So personally, I think that we should kind of really face what it is to have this new 40-hour work week and what it means to us. How we could do away with that. Because it's time, man. It's time. A lot of doctors say when you have a problem, you have an obesity problem, you have a health problem, what does the doctor say to you? Oh, well, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, you got to go to the gym. You got to lose 50 pounds. You have to change your diet. And it's easier said than done. A lot of people need more than just these words from a doctor to lose weight. People spend all their day working. What time do they have for themselves? Because they have to go right to their kids. All right? There's no time. You got to work 8 to 10 hours. You can't go to the gym. Your kids need to do their homework. You got to get the youngins ready for the day next day. There's no time. Now, if you cut down the work day, if you have fibroids or if you have high blood pressure or if you have diabetes and it was a 5-hour work day, you could go to work, leave, go to the gym, run, change your diet. You're not forced to eat crap. Now you can actually go and make your food, right? For the next day, eat healthier, see your kids, pick them up from school, 3 o'clock, right? That's another thing. If your kids leave school at 3 o'clock, but you got to work to 5, how the hell does that work? How the hell am I supposed to pick up my kid and I got to work an 8-hour day? So now I got to spend more money for aftercare that they don't need when I could just do it myself. I'm just saying, as a parent, I'm being honest. So reduce the 40-hour work week, make it 5 hours a day, 6 hours a day, and we can have better lives and be fresher and be more efficient at work. Because you have a certain amount of time, you're going to get right to work, right? Anyway, that's my thought on the 40-hour work week. Smash it to bits. All right, we're going to get out of here into the next song.
Lately I've been feeling like my brain's at the tip of my tongue. And anyone who knows me, they know that I'm never undone. So busy thinking I got it all together. Then you're swooping, just like you're flying Delta. My head's in the clouds and I don't really wanna come down. 'Cause I just can't get off my mind. You got me scared, brain, and I lose even when I try. You got me scared, brain, scared brain, scared brain, scared brain, scared brain. You steal my focus every time. You got me scared, brain, lost in the daydream. Your love's got me all the way out. And if they call me spacey for you, babe, I wear it so proud. So busy thinking I got it all together. Then you're swooping, just like you're flying Delta. My head's in the clouds and I don't really wanna come down, 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 down. 'Cause I
It's GCOM Radio
I am one of the flyers.
on iHeartRadio.
Train of thought. You got me scared, brain. You run my mind like it's a marathon. You got me scared, brain. There goes my train of thought. You got me scared, brain. You run my mind like it's a marathon. So busy thinking, I got it all together, and you're swooping, just like you're flying Delta. My head's in the clouds, and I don't really wanna come down, down. 'Cause I just can't get you out my mind. You got me scared, brain, and I lose even when I try. You got me scared, you want my brain. Scatterbrain, baby. Scatterbrain. You steal my focus every time. You got me scared, lost in the daydream, lost in the daydream, lost in the daydream, lost in the daydream.
Let's start from the beginning.
There's many, but nothing like this internet radio show.
Yeah. Beat my frequency.
GCOM Radio.
Y'all know what's up.
Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it.
Girl, you like it my way. Doing about 100 on the highway. About 100 on the highway. You sending pictures before I pull up in the driveway. Now I'm flowing deep up in your ocean. The way you want it got a brother losing focus. And I'm digging your motion. Cloud 9, how a nigga got you floating. Now we going off the ganja, you know that I got you. Doing you proper, you're calling me papa. You know I love it when you're calling me papa. Touchdown, I'm in your zone. Now just work your body, move your body. Whatever you do, just don't hurt nobody, body. Work your body, move your body. You got a nigga in the zone.
Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it.
Listen up.
You're listening to GCOM Radio.
My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you
She
like
got a
it.
little attitude, but fuck it, I like that. If I ever lose, I get up and fight back. You mine, don't fight that. If I text, type back. Shine a wine, pass me the weed and light that. Yeah, I shine like the middle of the city. Might go blind in a minute if you with me. If she in my line and say, Tony, come and get me. I'll be on a flight in a minute for the quickie. Don't you move me out the way, my darling. I pray that you don't move me out the way. You say I got better bitches in my face, my darling. But me and you know that is not the case. Fuck it anyway. We should take a trip and get away. You know I can make a flip and we can spend it in a day. You and them a major difference, so them bitches gonna hate. Don't you listen, never trip. We bout the business, bout the cake, yeah.
Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. got the sauce, baby, I got the juice. Spit truth in my rhymes, baby, this is the bro. We can go anywhere, Hawaii or Cancun. Just say the word and shorty, it's on you. And we ain't tripping unless we talking traps. Topic of discussion, there's really no other option. 5-star place, told the butterfly she loving. I'm ballin' with no budget, take trips, I got the luggage. Shooting my shot, spraying, I don't miss. Time of your life don't get better than this. IV in my veins, you know I need my fix to lift the sweetest taste of sin. You ain't medicine, word.
Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it. Girl, you like it my way. My hands around your waist. Expressions all on your face. You like it, you like it.
Oh yeah, man. So that was some nice tunes, man. Always love good music, man. As I said before, I'm a live music type of guy, but I love dope music, especially when it comes to hip hop. Yeah, I think it needs to change. I was listening to Shade 45 with Lord Sear, and I listen to Shade 45 while I'm in the car, and it got me upset because I was like, yo. I mean, I was just hearing it shoot 'em up, shoot the MDK, murder, death, kill rap. You know, I'm gonna get my gat, I'm gonna kill you, da, da, da. Yo, dude, let me tell you something. I was listening to hip hop for 20 something odd years. All right, I'm OG in the game of music as far as being active in the industry. Well, being a much part of it as I could. I took a break, y'all. I'll be honestly, I stepped back for a while and took a break. But, you know, now I've been back in the swing of things for the last couple of years. I was listening to Lord Sear and I'm like, what is this? I was hearing this 20 years ago. You mean we can't get off of this? Come on, music is trends. The music taste changes, but yet the content is the same. Come on, man. It's time. All right. It's time to shift. Time to shift away from that. And I had to throw it down on Twitter, and you know, I hashtag Lord Sear and Shade 45, and it just gets stupid. I'm not saying it has to be righteous hip hop or, you know, blackity black. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying music gotta be like that. But I'm saying is push the envelope on where hip hop could go musically and visually, because we know this is a visual society, right? Push the envelope, test the boundaries. I like Chance the Rapper. I like Kendrick Lamar. I like this other dude. Oh man, I always forget this young rapper. He's wearing a blonde wig now. He got his album just dropped. It's I can't remember this guy's name. Anyway, Odd Future. He's from the group Odd Future. And you know who I'm talking about by Odd Future. Love that dude. It's just different music. I love Snow the Product. I love what she brings to the table. I love who else did I like that's really pushing the boundaries? There's a new this oh my god, I can't. Every time when I talk about rap, I can't remember these guys' name. Yeah, anyway, so you get the idea of the type of music I like, because I'm tired of listening to music I was listening to before. As soon as you talk about guns, I'm like, mentally I'm just shut off. All right. So I think for the captains of the industry, for the people that pull these levers and press these buttons, the people that are responsible for pushing the music forward, let's get away from that. The program directors of these radio stations, if you hear, I had a studio at one point, right? And in Brooklyn. And my partner at the time played this dude for me. I think I talked about this before. I don't know, but I'll say it again. So he said, "Yo, what you think of this dude?" And the track was a banger, but it was like some MDK business, you know, typical hood rap song. I was like, "Yo, the joint is hot, but nah, man, I'm just tired of hearing what's on the radio, and I can't be a part of that. If I have opportunities where I'm at if I'm positioned in the music business where, you know, I get to control who comes out and is the main face of the hip hop business or the hip hop music for today and beyond, I can't be a part of that, man, because I can't complain about it and then all of a sudden doing the business of it, be like, oh yeah, it's hot, so let's push it. Nah, because it's not about that. It's not about that for me. It's something more. And it's, yes, it could be about making money, but you can also you know, change it up, man. Change it up. Do something fresh. So yeah. Anyway, so the last segment of the show is Meek Mill. Meek Mill, man. This dude got banned from the Cosmopolitan Hotel in Las Vegas he said for no reason at all. He said he didn't do nothing. He was just there. He said, I quote, "They telling black rappers they are banned from properties they own without incident. They just told me I was trespassing and I will be arrested if I stepped in that hotel once. And you know, I would be arrested for trespassing and will be arrested. I stepped in that hotel once at a Jay-Z party without incident." Unquote. Next one, quote, "The Cosmopolitan Hotel and it's a few other hotels that be doing this to black entertainers because they don't want too many blacks on their property. Vegas notorious for this too. It's not just me. Is this the case? Are we dealing with discrimination on these levels? No. Clutch the pearls. Really? Vegas is getting down like this? Is the first time I've ever heard this. Oh, really?" So now Meek Mill is saying, yo, if you part of the culture, you won't go to any of these hotels. Nah. I don't do that, Meek. Don't tell people to do that. That's not good business. Don't do that, man. This is what you do. All the rappers go down to the hotel and get a room. And if they don't let you in because of who you are, especially if you're a rapper that hasn't carried on any trife business and was cool, and whenever you show up, you do your thing without incident, go right down there, say you want a room, they deny you, boom, you know what to do next. Okay, because Meek Mill's doing it. His lawyer is on the case right now. He wants an apology, he wants to get a room. No. And then when they know what shit they are in, then they'll go to the hotel no more. You feel me? Because you don't need to go to the hotel. All right? You don't need to go to the Cosmopolitan Hotel or whoever is the hotel manager that's starting that business. Because there's some video footage. I saw that on the rollingstone.com. It's about to make its rounds. By the time the show comes out, people are going to be talking about it on Hot 97 and Power 105 and all that. But I'm saying it anyway. It's part of my show. Go to the hotel. Go. If I could freaking take a plane right now, I go right down to that hotel and I try to get a room. I'll bring the next rapper with me. Yes, I'd like to get a hotel. My name, yes, I'm with Meek Mill or whoever rapper the next, right? Yeah, we trying to Little Xan. There you go, right? Little Uzi Vert, right? Go right down to the hotel to the front desk. Oh, sir, we can't let you in. What? Put my hand on my chest. I'm verklempt? No, I can't get a room. And then boom, serving them papers. I'm suing you for $20 million, right? And when they know the error of their ways, how they're discriminating against people because of who they are, then don't go to the hotel no more, right? Because you want to prove a point. You want to prove a point that in 2019, we're not going to go back to this, number one, all right? You're not going to deny people of who they are based on their race or what you think you don't like. If they're not causing any problems with the staff, with the guests, with anybody, and they just coming up in here and doing what they do, why are you denying them? And if you're doing that, you should be sued. Okay? That's number one. Number two, we don't need y'all. Rappers don't need them. All right? My thing is, fine, you don't want us there. You ain't got to have it. I'm going to prove my point first. Next, I'm not going to do that no more. Where's Las Vegas anyway, right? Las Vegas is a city that's built in the middle of a desert, right? What keeps you from creating your own hotel, in Vegas? right? Just grab another parcel of land, it's dirt, whatever, pave over it. Now, this is what I'm talking about in the first segment as far as construction. Like, New York is saturated, right? The companies are already established in New York City. Even if you're even if you're a white business, it's hard to get into New York City because it's too much people here. You reach a certain saturation point where it's brimming over with established contractors and new contractors and mid-sized contractors, whatever. Especially in terms of black business, if you want to be the first person out getting these contracts, go to Vegas. And just not just you, create a consortium, right? Or whatever, or politicians, entertainers, businessmen, entrepreneurs, whatever the case may be. All right, fine. You want not a problem. Keep them on their toes, though. Throw somebody in there every once in a while and see what they're going to do. But then all the while, you go ahead and you build your hotel, all right? Call it whatever you want, 50 stories high. Now, think of all the businesses that can benefit from that, from electrical to carpenters to plumbers to all the people that deals with the inside of. Once you build the outside, you got to build the carpet, the flooring, the whatever. The furniture, like it's endless. Build your own hotel. Now you may get some resistance because, depending on who the politicians in line and senators or whatever the case may be, you may deal with plain old racism, right? It comes to a point where your money don't matter. But yeah, go ahead, go ahead, do that. Because the other part about it, that what we're dealing with in American society, the only thing that matters is green. It could be black. But if you can bring green to their pocket, my friend, come in, sit down with me. Yes. Yeah, we know that's America, baby. You know what I mean? That's America. If you bring in the green, at some point, some people I don't give a damn. I'm doing it. Case in point, Old Town Road. So they talking about how Billy Ray Cyrus, he's not really. Who was talking about? Oh, on Hot 97, it was Rosenberg talking with the other cats, talking about, he's not, Billy Ray Cyrus is not really a country star. He's an achy breaky heart back then. Even that was questionable back then. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah. But he did it. But what did Billy Ray Cyrus do? He said, screw that. I'm doing this anyway. Let me sing the hook. And it's still the #1 song in America. Old Town, take my oar through the Old Town Road, I'm gonna ride. Yeah, I think it's catchy. I like the song. I'm not gonna hate on it. But look at that, right? They was hating on it because they figured it's not country. Some people was like, nah, you trying to, this is cultural appropriation or taking digs at country music. He came in, right? Young boy. And remember, it was a game. I believe it was a part of a game. It wasn't like meant for the charts. It was a game song. And then it spilled out from there, right? So then what did Billy Ray Cyrus say? I'm jumping on this song. Why this can't be country? He has a point. Why it can't be? Made millions. So the same way where Billy Ray Cyrus saw the opportunity, the same way senators and business people see the opportunity of building another hotel in Las Vegas. All right? You got to start changing the way we look at things. You can't always take it from a victimhood standpoint. I can't. Why are they doing this to me? Why are they doing this to us? Black people can't get a chance. Quit it. Stop crying. We know what it is. In 2019, we know how they get down. We know already. The game hasn't changed. The formula has not changed. It's still the same. It's the same BS, different face. From the 1960s to 2019. So now what you gonna do about it? Huh? You gonna keep complaining? Yeah. You gonna keep complaining? Come on, player. That's enough of that. All right? Stand up on your own 2 feet. You go to that hotel. They deny you. So they ass. And once they, sure, Meek. We'll let you in this hotel. You're a great guy. And you walk up in there, go in a hotel, and then cancel. And then you walk yourself right around the corner and shake the hand to your business partner that's going to build a hotel taller, sleeker, with more technology. Right? make it the flyest, most futuristic hotel. Now that's going to be the capital of all hotels whenever people go down to Vegas. Not this bullshit Cosmopolitan, man. Come on. Anyway, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys for listening to me go off. Shout out to everyone that listens to the show. I see those downloads. I appreciate people that's listening to it. You can find me on IG at Lyfeblood.com, Lyfeblood. Follow me, please, there. Go to GCOM Radio. It's an extension. I would like to separate GCOM thoughts from Lyfeblood thoughts and photos. So go to GCOM_radio and follow me there. And just follow us in general. Go to Lyfeblood.com. Go to Life. Let me drink some tea right before. Go to Lyfeblood.com. Be a lifer. Take some initiative. All right. Be a lifer, whatever your discipline is, whether you're in the engineering, the sciences, microbiology, music, dancing, you want to start a restaurant, you are a baker, you're a chef or cook, whatever. Here's your opportunity to work with your network, to ask them for a minimum of $1 per month in order for you to live your dream, get your passion rolling, see it, actualize it, make it happen. So when they see you working every day on it, they see those pictures on your profile, the videos, all that, you're jumping into these think circles in Lyfeblood.com. Say you're a microbiologist and you have this new invention or whatever, and you want to talk to people in your industry, in your field, there are think groups in there. Calling their chat rooms, but it's specific to each field. Go there, talk to people, bring them back to your profile, ask them for $1, ask them for $2, ask them for $4, whatever it is that you need. Add a project, say this is what we're doing, this is my event, this is my new invention. Whatever it is that you're doing that's a part of you, show people what you're doing and let them give you $1. If people know that you're doing it for a just cause, or you're doing it to contribute to humanity, they will give you $1 or more, or whatever you're asking for. Let's create this community, this global economics community, where it's decentralized and we don't have to, always have to wait for a grant or a loan or something. And I even want to stray away from loans, and that's another conversation. It's a debt trap. It's the money pit with Tom Hanks. You're just gonna kill yourself at the end of the day. The new way of seeking finance is amongst a decentralized community of people that see the power within themselves. You can do it. Your neighbor can do it. Let's build a global society. I'm out of here. See you next week. Thank you for listening. We out. Peace.